Shedeur Sanders for MVP already. Now, let me not take it too far, but it's another example of how quick and fast Nike is with their marketing. Perfect. Shedeur is the perfect athlete to work with. He's unique. He sticks to himself and his family for the most part. He's marketable. He's charismatic. He smiles. All of the above. And Nike is so quick with the timing. They say only a matter of time. Come on, man. I told y'all.
Arch Manning just snapped. The so-called golden boy thought the spotlight was his forever, but Nike just flipped the script and handed Shedeur Sanders a blockbuster deal that feels more like a royal coronation than a contract. Arch is pacing like somebody told him Wi-Fi is gone for life, and this meltdown is one for the record books. What did Shedeur pull off to steal the crown? And why is Arch acting like somebody swiped his whole lunch tray? Buckle up, it's about to get crazy. If you're vibing with this drama, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. See, Nike didn't just slide a paper across the table for Shedeur Sanders. They practically threw a parade. Gold dust in the air, velvet rope pulled back, and a spotlight so bright it could blind the whole draft class. The man hasn't even suited up for an official NFL snap, and already he's staring at a payday that would make veterans question why they ever settled for less.
Obviously, you don't want to start off the season 0-1. They're a good team, but I thought we beat ourselves a lot, and that starts with me, and I got to play better for us to win. Can't wait till the second half to kind of get things going. Yeah, it didn't start fast enough. Took a whole half for us to kind of even get the ball down the field, so that starts with me. Got to get back to square one and get back Monday. And go.
This isn't just getting the bag. This is the whole armored truck, engine running, with Shedeur driving off laughing. He didn't just cash a check. He hijacked the money train and waved goodbye while the league watched in shock. And somewhere deep in Texas, Arch Manning is looking around like he just showed up to a party where his own name wasn't on the guest list. Analysts keep pumping him up like he's football royalty, whispering about bloodlines, destiny, and pedigree. But here's the truth. Destiny doesn't wire your account with commas and zeros. Nike didn't want a last name carved into history books. They wanted the new king who can break the internet with one throw. That's Shedeur. Every pass looks like it belongs on a mixtape soundtrack. Arch may have the hype machine behind him, but hype doesn't pay rent.
I'm just excited for them. I gifted a lot of receivers the prime DT96s. You know, a couple of them had them on. So I just gifted a couple of them, like the main receivers going into this game. You know, I gifted them complete. Some won, some didn't, but I was like, okay, it's just my little appreciation gift to them. Because they don't be having a lot in stock, so I couldn't do everybody.
Shedeur's deal is bigger than endorsements. It's a cultural earthquake shaking the NFL to its core. And the irony, Arch is out here holding the Manning surname like it's a cheat code. But the league ain't asking for another Manning. They're asking for someone who can own Sundays on the field and run the timeline on Mondays. And right now, that's Shedeur Sanders. Think about the kind of pressure this just dumped on the entire NFL. Veterans who've been bleeding on that field for a decade suddenly have to watch a rookie stroll in with more guaranteed money than they've scraped together in their last 3 deals combined. That's not just pressure, that's humiliation with a smile, fries on the side, and no refund. And Shedeur? He's sitting back cool as ice, probably tilting his shades, knowing he's walking into the league with more leverage than guys who've already built Hall of Fame resumes. The wild part? He hasn't even called a single huddle yet, and the NFL already moves around him like he's the sun.
You're watching the game, Chad. There's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans. What did you think of his first outing?
Listen, all the talk and the narratives and the storylines and whatever you want to say, sooner or later that ball was about to snap. And that young man we watched in Colorado, who was one of the best football players in the nation, is now looking like one of the best football players in the nation at another level. That's what it was. I knew the collusion and all the stuff, like I said, you want to go through. You saw what Shedeur Sanders was capable of. We all knew what Shedeur Sanders was capable of, and he's going to show that.
Meanwhile, Arch Manning keeps nodding to analysts replaying those tired high school highlight tapes. But none of that changes the only scoreboard that matters. The one stacked with commas, contracts, and cultural pull. And here's the comedy in all this. For years, people swore the Manning name was untouchable, the league's untouchable royalty. But royalty just got dethroned before the coronation even started. Arch thought hype alone was going to crown him king. But Shedeur turned hype into reality, and reality into the fattest rookie contract in league history. He's not just king of the hill. He built his own mountain. And Arch is still waiting at the bottom for somebody to toss him a crown. But here's the sting. Shedeur earned this throne. He didn't coast on a family tree or walk in on a red carpet of legacy. He took the hate, the critics, the whispers that he couldn't hang with the big boys, and turned it all into jet fuel. Every throw, every touchdown, every pressure moment, he stacked a resume in real time while the doubters kept running their mouths. Nike saw it. The league knows it. This isn't some lucky break. This was inevitable. Now picture draft night. Arch polished up, smiling, expecting the world to revolve around him. But all eyes slide past him to Shedeur. Cameras don't just follow Shedeur. They orbit him like he's a planet. And the NFL lives off stars who can light up stadiums and timelines. Shedeur checks every single box. He's not just marketable, he's magnetic. The kind of player who makes sponsors beg, networks drool, and defensive coordinators sweat bullets just thinking about Sunday. Arch Manning might still be clinging to the dream that analysts can hype him into greatness. But let's keep it real. Analysts don't throw touchdowns. They don't stare down blitzes, and they definitely don't leave defenders frozen on highlight reels. That's Shedeur Sanders' lane, and once the season kicks off, nobody's wasting time asking how Arch feels. They'll be too busy watching Shedeur turn Sundays into a full-blown spectacle. This deal doesn't just crown Shedeur, it rewires the entire NFL blueprint. Rookies aren't supposed to walk into the league with vault-level checks before even sweating through a real game. But here he is, smashing traditions and flipping the system upside down. It's poetic, and Shedeur brings it in buckets. Confidence, swagger, and fire that the old playbook can't contain. He's not waiting for approval, not begging for a seat at the table. Shedeur kicked the door in, pulled up a chair, and dared anyone to challenge him. Nike didn't just see a prospect, they saw the future itself. And that's the bitter pill Arch and his camp can't swallow. The NFL isn't a family reunion. It's not about nostalgia or passing down a last name like a crown. It's about who can drag the game forward into a new era. Who can light up stadiums? Who can sell hope to desperate fan bases searching for a savior? And right now, that's Shedeur. He's the one the cameras can't stop chasing, the one sponsors won't stop calling, and the one defenses already lose sleep over. So while Arch Manning is still polishing his imaginary victory speech, Shedeur Sanders is already stacking checks, rewriting the game, and walking straight into history as the highest-paid rookie the league has ever seen. And here's the kicker. He hasn't even taken his first official snap. That's not hype. That's dominance before the battle even begins. Nike didn't just sign a quarterback. They signed a revolution. Shedeur is treating every practice rep like it's the Super Bowl, while Arch sits in his bubble spoon-fed analyst praise like it's baby food. They keep telling Arch he's ready to take over, but watching him is like watching somebody rehearse for a play that already got canceled. Meanwhile, Shedeur isn't waiting on some dusty script. He's writing the whole production live in real time, with Nike rolling the cameras and cutting the checks. The spotlight's on him, but instead of turning into a diva, he straps up tighter and gets back to work like the money never even hit his account. And that's what makes him scary. When a man that rich still acts hungry, the league has no idea what kind of storm is coming. Picture it. Shedeur strolling into training camp smooth as ever, shades on, contract locked in. But the second practice starts, none of that glitz matters. He doesn't move like the guy with the bag. He moves like the guy still clawing for respect. While other rookies would get distracted by flashing lights and endorsements, Shedeur stays laser-focused, like he knows greatness doesn't stop at the paycheck. Meanwhile, Arch is starting to look more like a cautionary tale, proof of what happens when you believe your own press clippings. Shedeur doesn't need hype men. His game is the hype. Every crisp spiral, every escape from pressure, every perfectly timed throw, it's a statement. It's a reminder to the entire league why Nike picked him as their guy. But here's the twist. Shedeur's not even satisfied. He could easily coast, cash checks, film commercials, and everybody would still call him a success. But that's not his DNA. What he built at Colorado wasn't smoke and mirrors. It was proof he'll grind until nobody dares to question why he got the bag in the first place. That's not just impressive. That's flat out terrifying for every quarterback still trying to prove themselves. Now imagine, You're a veteran quarterback in year 10, broken ribs, frozen shoulders, waking up sore every Monday. And you flip on the news just to see headlines about a rookie making more money than you'll ever touch. And here's the kicker. He doesn't even act entitled. No arrogance, no ego trips. Shedeur just keeps his head down and works harder. That's the nightmare. The richest rookie in NFL history is also the hungriest. The moment reality hits, when people realize a rookie isn't living up to the hype, the whole thing usually crumbles faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. But Shedeur Sanders? He flips that script. He takes the money, the spotlight, the pressure, all the things that normally crush a rookie, and he thrives. Most guys would fold under the weight of being the guy before even taking their first snap. But Shedeur? He shrugs it off like it's nothing more than another challenge, another doubter to silence, another defense to torch. He loves it. The chaos, the criticism, the spotlight. It doesn't break him. It fuels him. Nike didn't just bet on a quarterback. They crowned a warrior who gets stronger the hotter the fire burns. And here's where the irony stings. While Shedeur's cashing checks and grinding like a machine, Arch is still waiting for somebody, anybody, to validate him. He's clinging to analysts, fans, and family legacy like they're life rafts, begging for a sign that it's still his story. But the league? The league has already flipped the channel. Nobody's hitting pause so Arch can catch up. The narrative already belongs to Shedeur. And every time he steps on the field, that gap widens until Arch looks like a footnote. The funniest part? Shedeur doesn't even care about the comparison. He's not looking left or right. He's not worried about Arch or anybody else. And that's the truth. Nobody wants to say out loud. Arch Manning can soak up all the hype in the world, but Shedeur Sanders owns reality. He's got the bag, the focus, and the discipline to make sure this isn't just a one-season headline. This is the beginning of an era. While Arch is still out here trying to convince people he belongs, Shedeur is too busy proving he's already arrived. He keeps his head down, keeps grinding, keeps stacking wins until there's nothing left to debate. And the millions from Nike? That's just background noise to a man chasing something bigger than money. He's chasing legacy. The kind of legacy no last name can guarantee. The kind you only earn when you storm the game and refuse to let go. When the dust settles, the truth will be obvious. There was never a competition. There was only Shedeur Sanders, the one who rewrote the script while everyone else was still trying to keep up. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next one.